We're on the road to Wrestlemain Event with what happened on my universe mode. Yep, the road to Wrestlemain Event is on. As we have finished our previous pay-per-view special, Fastlane, we're back in Las Cruces, New Mexico, because someone forgot to change the venue again, and we open the show with Chris Jericho coming off defeat in a triple threat match against Triple H and The Rock, and he had something to say. Apparently some people were questioning as to whether or not Jericho was the best, and he wanted to prove it, so he called out Triple H, the man that won the triple threat match at the pay-per-view recently, and out came the game with his finger pointing. He basically called Jericho boring, so Jericho then insulted Triple H's social media presence. Triple H then said that he must be dreaming if he thought he could step up to him, but Jericho then said the only dream was a delusional fantasy that Triple H could beat him. The Cerebral Assassin confirmed that the two men would face off once again, and Jericho was happy with that because he knew he had what it takes to beat him. Triple H then said that Jericho was easily manipulated. Jericho didn't have a reply for that one. Instead, he headbutted Triple H in the face. Y2J then hit Triple H with a barrage of moves, an enziguri, a butterfly into a backbreaker, a hurricane rana off the top rope. He then sent Triple H to the outside and then joined him, giving him a tope in the process. After that, the ref stopped him. It was cutscene time, and it was time for the next segment. And that segment was tag team action as the Hart Foundation members Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart were taking on Kurt Angle and Son, Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan. Kurt Angle had the advantage to start with on the Bulldog, first with a takedown, then with a side suplex before tagging in to his boy, and we got some double teamness with a double back body drop, but Jason Jordan was soon taken out of the equation thanks to a botched drop kick that British Bulldog pushed away. Davey Boy nailed Jordan with a Russian leg sweep before tagging into Neidhart. Neidhart went to town on the new Double J, first with a standing Northern Lights, then with a big gorilla press, and then just thumping his face in. However, Jordan somehow was able to reverse after that and hit Jim Neidhart with that dropkick he wanted to hit at the start, then a belly to belly. He tagged into his daddy and we got more double teamless, a double Northern Light suplex. Angle hit a takedown on Neidhart and then went to the top rope, but Neidhart quickly moved out of the way and tagged into the British Bulldog. That didn't mean much to Angle though, as he took down British Bulldog with a dragon screw and then took him to Suplex City, which I know is Brock Lesnar's place, but Kurt Angle likes to visit occasionally. Following a frog splash, Kurt tagged back into Jordan, another bit of double teamness. Jordan hit Bulldog with a capture suplex and then threw him into the corner where he gave him that shoulder butt into a belly to belly suplex and finished him off with his dad's finishing move, the Angle Slam. After that he went for the pin, and Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle and Son were your winners. Up next was Brutus the Barber Beefcake having a rare appearance on Nitro. He was job fodder for Batista, who decided to come out and play today. The animal lured Beefcake into a full sense of security, letting him get the first move, but that didn't last very long as Batista elbowed him and then Luthez pressed him, giving him big punches in the meantime. After a quick roll, Batista sent Beefcake to the outside. Hard way. On the outside, Batista looked like he was sending a message to someone, maybe. A jackhammer on the outside. After that, a guardrail snake eyes, and then he put Beefcake back in the ring, giving him a boot to the face. Batista gave another boot, this time scuppering any counter plans for Beefcake. After that, a spine buster and the Batista bomb. 1, 2, 3. Of course Batista was going to win. As I said, Brutus Beefcake was job fodder. At Fastlane, the WWE title match was ruined when Ted DiBiase took the low blow route to ending the match against The Undertaker, and he was nowhere to be seen this time as The Undertaker was against The Rock. Instead, the Retro Rumble winner, Andre the Giant, took his place at ringside, getting ready to take on The Undertaker at Wrestlemain Event as his right as Retro Rumble winner. The champion did not seem to approve of Andre the Giant scouting his future opponent and complained, and that might have been on his mind when The Rock grabbed his leg and gave him a dragon screw to start with, and followed that with a corner attack to the back and a snap suplex. This being the dead man, though, he did get his wits about him eventually, managing to reverse The Rock's next move into a back body drop and then taking The Rock out with a huge big boot and a huge suplex. The Phenom drilled The Rock afterwards with a DDT, then picked him up for a fall-away slam, which he hit, but The Rock immediately no-sold it, kipping up and getting up before the dead man himself. He hit a clothesline and stomped on his shoulder, but The Undertaker was able to reverse the next move before we went to Cutscene City. And the population of that cutscene was Andre the Giant, beckoning Taker to join him outside so they could have few words, but while they were doing that, The Rock sneaked up behind Undertaker and smacked him straight in the gob. He did it again and then dropped him headfirst on the steel steps. After rolling The Undertaker back in the ring, The Rock locked in a clutch, but he didn't hold on to it for too long as The Undertaker rolled him out of it, then getting up and immediately giving The Rock a huge choke slam. Taker was now on the offense and drilled The Rock down with a flatliner, picked him up for the tombstone, but The Rock waggled those legs as hard as he could and reversed it into a tombstone of his own, but instead of going for the pin, he stood up and gave him the people's elbow. After flapping those arms about, he dropped the elbow, and the ultimate embarrassment for The Undertaker was he went for the pin, and the pin won the match for The Rock. The main event this week went to the tag title feud as Jeff Hardy made his way out to ringside. His opponent for the night was tag team champion Kevin Nash. Yet another singles match to promote a tag feud. The two were then joined at ringside by Kevin Nash's tag team partner and fellow tag team champion Scott Hall. Kevin Nash swatted away Hardy before giving him a big boot and locking him into a camel clutch, but Jeff Hardy was able to reverse out of that and then make this his show, hitting a Russian leg sweep followed by an elbow to the back of the head. The Hardy offense continued with a DDT and a flying fist before he got a bit overzealous, jumped to the top rope and then leaped on Scott Hall with an elbow before dropping his legs onto the groin. Back in the ring, a dirty German on Kevin Nash, but Scott Hall wanted his revenge, so he grabbed Jeff Hardy's leg on an Irish whip, distracting him enough for Kevin Nash to attack him from behind, and once that was done, Kevin Nash gave him a dirty jackknife powerbomb. That proved to be successful. Kevin Nash your winner, and that is it for another edition of What Happened on My Universe Mode. Like and subscribe. NXT next.